Everybody hates Moroku.
It's true.
At least this week.
This week, yes.
Other weeks, it's less up in the air. The show might hate him by not letting him do the wind tunnel.
It's. I mean, that seems accurate.
But for this week, everybody hates Moroku.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we're going to talk about here today on Jared and Al Watch Inuyasha. It is episode 94. I'm Jared, joined as always by Doc Al and Ladium.
Hello.
We are discussing Season 4, Episode 11, or Episode 93, entitled The Mysterious Lecherous Monk. Who could that be?
Who could that be?
It's a real mystery.
No one's ever called a lecherous monk in this, ever.
It's true. We begin the episode and Moroku's handing out business cards to people and then leaving and then telling them their name.
Mm-hmm.
Just doing his thing. And then we cut back and Inuyasha and his group are walking around trying to find a nice place to rest because Kagome is like, man, I've been sleeping out in the ground the whole time. Sleeping out in the ground. Sleeping out in the
wilderness.
There we go. The wilderness. And I could really go for like a bed or just a house.
Somewhere with a roof.
I don't want to be a worm in my sleeping bag. And they spot a village and they're like, hey, maybe we can go sleep there and get a little rest and everything. Mm-hmm. And as they're walking into the village, everyone notices Moroku's like, Moroku's here! Oh no! And they're all like, huh? And then everyone just starts trying to fight them and they're like, Moroku, what did you do to these people? And Moroku's like, I have no idea!
What the heck?
They employ the Joestar family method of running away from the village.
Yep. Gotta get out of here.
Mm-hmm. So they leave and everything. We see again Moroku's up just hanging around, just trying to hang out in a village and getting all the ladies. And Inuyasha's gang is interrogating Moroku, like, what did you do to people? He's like, dude, I do not know. If I would remember if I did this, and if you remember all the bad things you do, he's like, whoa, about that. And this is where we see Kagome as a worm.
Yes,
in her sleeping bag.
And Shippo's kicking Moroku in the face.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
They head to the next village, and the same thing happens again, where everyone's mad at Moroku, and they're like, you scammed us. And he's like, I literally have never been here before. What are you talking about?
I love they tie him up, and everybody's like, oh, yeah, I guess we should, hear him out after he's been tied up.
We're going to throw him in the river.
Throw him in the river. Shippo's like, sure, let's do it. Oh, Shippo woke up and chose violence.
It's true. Because all the ladies show up and are wanting to oh, have your child, and Roku's like, oh, I guess I could do this. And then at one
murder him.
Yeah, at one point he's just like, what do you expect me to do, huh? I mean, guys, what? And Sango and Kagome are just deaf staring him, and he's like, you know what I mean, Shippo, right? And Shippo's like, I'm a child, I don't understand these adult things, and he thinks he's like, sorry, Moroku, I had to do it.
Had to do it to him.
Gotta do it to him. And Inuyasha does not have his opinion heard at all.
No, he doesn't matter.
No. So yeah, they tie up Moroku and they want to throw him in the river, and they're like, yeah, you came and scammed us. You tried to sell us these sutras, buy one get one free, but then they don't work, and then you just ate all our food and tried to take all our women. It was real weird. I can't believe you did
that. Demon at all.
Can't believe you did that yesterday and today. And then they said that, and Kagome's like, hey, wait a minute. He was with us both all that time. He couldn't have been here. And everyone else is like, oh, you're right. Whoa, I didn't think of that. It's what are you doing?
Dummies.
The villagers are still yeah, we don't care. You show us proof that you're not this that you're actually Moroku, because Moroku starts to think it's someone impersonating him, and Inuyasha gets mad. He's like, why don't you show us proof? And they're like, whoa, we got proof for you. They pull out just a bunch of leaves.
Yeah.
And Moroku's like, oh, okay.
I
know what's up here. So eventually they free him, and he's off to find out exactly what's going on. They stumble upon another village where Moroku was just at, and then they get led to a cave where Moroku's apparently exorcising a demon. Mm-hmm. Which is apparently of a raccoon dog, and this Moroku's like, oh, I could just talk some sense into this raccoon dog. And he finds the raccoon dog in the shrine, and then he comes out. He's like, "You're a raccoon dog." He's like, "No, I'm a weasel.
Weasel.
I eat raccoon dogs.
Nom 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 nom.
Nom, 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 nom. I'm gonna eat you, Moroku, and become the strongest demon ever because you have the wind tunnel."
Because that's how it works.
That's how that works. You're right. This Moroku keeps trying to intimidate this weasel demon, and the weasel demon just does not care. Flings him around a lot, and then we see this Moroku get a lot shorter and plumper, and then eventually turn into a raccoon dog itself.
What?
And then Inuyasha and the gang show up and like, "Wait, we just saw you go in the cave. How are you out here?" And they're like, "Don't worry about it. We're gonna get in there." So they go into the cave and everything, and they find the weasel demon trying to beat up and eat this raccoon dog, who is of course Hachi.
Yep.
Moroku's partner.
His pal.
His pal. So they come in, and Moroku's like, "Hey, you guys, remember I can use the wind tunnel?" Wee! He does not suck up the weasel though, because he's like, I'll just intimidate it with the wind tunnel, and then we'll be good. And the weasel is very like upset. I'm sorry. I'll be good now. And
I'll never do it again.
Go back to your mountain and be good forever. He's like, all right, see you later. Excuse me, gotta go.
Go home and be a family man.
I do love he leaves and he's like, excuse me. As I sneak on through.
It's really good.
It's really good. So they head back outside, and Hachi's like, "Yeah, sorry, I was real hungry, and I didn't know how to get food, so I dressed up like Moroku, impersonated him to get food, and then everything seemed to go real well, so I just kept doing it, and it was real nice and everything. So that's why that happened." And yeah, Songo notes that the one difference you can find between these two is that Hachi was actually good with the ladies, unlike Moroku. And then Moroku's like, hey, how did you get good with the ladies? Hachi's like, it's fine. You just got to be indifferent to them. And Moroku's like, oh.
I see.
And then Songo's like, are you guys talking about lecherous things? Like, does this look like the face of someone who has lecherous thoughts? And Songo's like, yes. Yes, it does. And then Moroku and Hachi have another discussion, and then Hachi turns into Moroku again, and they just run around each other to mix each other up. And like, which one's which? Sorry, gotta go. And Songo runs after them, just yelling that he's a lecher, a crook, a scammer, all sorts of things.
Yep.
And Inuyasha and everyone else is just like, all right, okay.
Yeah, it seems about right.
So I guess we're going. And that's how we end this episode.
It was definitely a filler episode.
It sure was. We got a couple of notes here.
Okay, hit me.
The game device that Shippo holds during conversation at night has a similar appearance as Game Boy Advance in real life, which I guess sure that would count.
Yeah, that's not what you said, but
I said it was a Wonder Swan, but I also could be wrong.
I mean, it's fair.
I misspelled Wonder Swan.
Huh?
Probably not a Wonder Swan actually, because that has like more buttons on the side, but like it's
okay.
Similar-ish shape. It's like a square handheld. So there's that, but yeah, it's a handheld gaming device, which is like, Shippo, why do you have that? You're gonna rot your brain.
Oh no.
And the other one is, if the scene of Moroku and Hachi disguised as Moroku is slowed and watched frame by frame, the left one is shown to be Moroku.
Wait, left looking at him or left with them running away?
Does not say.
Because those would be two different lefts.
That's up for you to decide.
Okay, well, I'm not good at decision making, so.
It's true.
We'll never know. It'll be a mystery forever.
Mystery. But yeah, that's going to do it for this week's episode. Next time, we will be discussing episode 94, entitled The Sacred Jewel Maker, Part 1. Because you know what we need in filler? A 2-part episode.
Yay!
Where they're going to find out if someone can make another sacred jewel.
Yay!
Because that's something you would do in filler, of course.
Woo! Oh man, we're getting so close to grip. But we're also getting close to a movie.
It's true. We'll talk about that next week, but for now, if you'd like more from us, head on over to seasonalanimecheckup.com or sac.cool, so where you can find past episodes of this podcast and other podcasts, like Seasonal Anime Checkup OVA. You can also find columns and reviews on the site as well. If you'd like more from Anladium, go to anladium.com. She's got columns and reviews. You can follow us on Twitter and TikTok at Anime Checkup. Follow us on Blue Sky at seasonalanimecheckup.com. And you can buy our books, One Shiny Moment, A Critical Analysis of Love, Life, Sunshine, Hot Tubs, and Pac-Man on Amazon.com. So join us next week, and we'll find out if you can make another Sacred Jewel or not.
I assume you can't, since it's spoiler. I mean, it's not spoilers. Filler.
Filler.
Yeah.